Hello everybody, today we are taking a look at functions. This is a super duper powerful tool to have in your Minecraft arsenal if you're someone who does a lot of work with commands. So let's jump in. So here we are inside of Minecraft, and this is my Minecraft realm. And the reason that we're here is I want to show you some examples of functions that I use all the time to make my life a lot easier, especially in a world that I'm in often. So all we have to do is type /function. I'm going to use the tab autocomplete to fill that in and hit space, and this would show a list of all the functions that I have installed on this world. And I only have 3 of them installed, and we're going to make an extra function today on this episode to kind of show you how it all works. But we have OMG:ATP, OMG lawnmower, and OMG strength. I'm going to first use OMG:ATP and hit enter, and this will teleport me to a little area I have set up to teleport me again to somewhere else. So this is basically a starting point for me whenever I start to record an episode. I'll throw down a command block with a teleportation to some other area. So we were just at building underwater before we teleported here. So now I can teleport back to build my building underwater area, teleport back to the center. Maybe, oh wait, I forgot something, I want to teleport back, then I can go, or I could go to a different area like my potions area, and then I have all my potion stuff here whenever I recorded. Well, you know, that was the last time I recorded that video. All this function really does is teleport me exactly to this block. I could remember the coordinates in my head, and they are fairly simple. I remember them to be 0, 0 at least, but I don't remember what the elevation was. Looks like the elevation is at 100. So I could remember 0, 0, 100 and then type out TP OMG Chad 0, 100, 0, and that would have the same effect as me running that command. But I could also just type out control function FU and then hit tab, and then if I hit space and then tab again, it'll autocomplete. So it's a lot less typing for me to do, and I don't like typing. I'd rather use functions. So that is the first function that I have. The next function is one that is called lawnmower, and I use this function a lot because whenever I am out and about recording a video, a lot of times I like to set up my world in an open area. In a plains biome, it looks like I'm in Minecraft. I'm not in some crazy weird world that's super flat. I've done a lot of those videos, but I kind of like the feeling of being in the world and actually having the stuff, stuff generated around me. But one thing that I find super annoying is all of this grass that is in the way. So what I used to do is I used to use the fill command to replace the grass with air, but there's multiple different variations of grass. So there's double tall grass, there's grass, and I even need to sort of add into this list ferns and maybe every single type of flower as well. So what happens when I run the lawnmower command in here, let me just do it all the way out, function, and then tab down to lawnmower and hit enter. It removes all of the grass around me within I believe it's a 30 block by 30 block radius. So I can easily go around and just run my function. It also goes down a few blocks and up. I believe it's down 5 and up 5 blocks to search for that grass whenever I'm using that function. So I can use this function quickly to remove both types of grass. Every time I run it, it says executed 2 commands from the function lawnmower, and there we go. Now I have a nice area that doesn't have any grass in it. So that is super useful when it comes to the function. My last function happens to deal with this strength right here. Whenever I'm recording a video, if a mob gets in my way, I would much rather just be able to punch it to get rid of it like this, instead of go into the inventory, find the diamond sword, maybe hit the mob 3 or 4 times. It probably runs away. It takes up a whole bunch of time. So I'd rather one hit kill a mob and get it out of my life than have to do all those other things. So I have found that using a super powerful strength modifier can allow me to do that. So if I just use effect clear OMG Chad, there we go. So now I no longer have the strength applied to me. And this is just effect give OMG Chad strength For the time, you just add some 9s, and it'll be infinite. Amplifier, the max is 255, and then set this to true. So this function, the strength function, is really just this command condensed down to /function omg strength, and then I have the same effect applied to me. So that is just a single command function. So now you can see why these functions can be really powerful. If you do a certain type of command often enough, writing a function and then adding it to your world may be really beneficial to you to save a lot of time. Now, like I mentioned before, this is my realm, and realm world files are sort of easy to work with, but not as easy as a single player. So we are going to create a new single player world. We'll call this functions. There you go, spelled correctly. We're going to set our mode to creative and just go ahead and create this world. Your functions are going to be saved in the datapacks folder on your world save. So inside of the datapacks folder, you can have all sorts of different types of datapacks that affect your advancements, your loot tables, your structures. So all of that is held under the datapacks folder, and we are going to be creating that right now. So now that we have the world created, we can go ahead and save and quit, and then navigate to our .minecraft folder. So before we get into actually creating our own, I do want to show you what the functions look like on the realm that I was just working with. So I'm going to go into my saves folder. And by the way, if you don't know how to get to your .minecraft folder, it's pretty easy to Google it, but it's different on Mac and PC, so I'm not going to cover it here. So in my saves folder, these are all my world saves, and I do happen to know that OMG Craft, this is the one that I was just working with. So I can go into my datapacks folder like I mentioned before. Inside of there is a data pack called OMG Craft. Inside of that, there's a little bit of information. As I click through, we get to functions eventually, and I have all of these functions. This is a new function that I know that I want to add eventually. All this does is allow me to see the arms of armor stands. So now I have a little bit of an idea of what we are going to be adding. We can go ahead and add our own. So we created this world functions, and so let's go ahead and jump into that. Then we are looking for the datapacks folder. So we're going to jump into datapacks, and there is nothing here. So we are going to make a new folder, and this folder can be named anything. It doesn't really show up anywhere. So I'm just going to call this OMG Craft Data. Now that we have that folder made, go ahead and double click into it, and we're going to make another folder. This one's called data, and this is where a whole bunch of things are going to be stored, but we also need to create a new file. So go ahead and right click, click new, and say text document right here. And this is going to be the information that Minecraft needs in order to know that this is a data pack and what type of data pack it is. Now you're going to need to rename this, and you're going to need to rename this file all the way. You're going to have to get rid of the .txt. You're going to have to make basically a new type of file. It's pretty simple. It's just called pack.mc meta, and that stands for metadata, and you just hit enter, and normally your operating system will ask you, are you sure you want to change the file extension, that thing that is after the dot? Do you want to change it because it's going to create a new type of file? And I say yes, because I do want that. And I have a program called Sublime Text. That's what I like to use in order to edit text documents and the sort of like code style text documents. It's completely free. Sublime Text 3. If you want to download it yourself, it's on PC and Mac. So I'm going to go ahead and double click that pack.mc meta and either choose Sublime Text 3 or go ahead and open it up myself. I can also right click and choose Sublime Text 3. And so inside of here, this is where you need to add some information for Minecraft to be able to know what this is and be able to name it, basically. It's fairly simple. What we're going to do is we're going to create some squiggly brackets. So we got some squiggly brackets. I'm going to hit enter a few times so that we have some space here. Then I'm going to put in quotes. This is going to be a pack, and you can see Sublime Text is sort of making this easy for me because it adds the secondary quotes after I do that. We're going to add a colon, a space, and some more squiggly brackets, and we're going to hit enter again. In fact, I didn't need to hit enter so many times down here. I'm going to hit tab and tab again, I guess. And then we are going to do another set of quotes. This is pack underscore format. I'm going to jump over here, add a colon, and this is going to be pack format of 1 with a comma, then hit enter again. So another set of quotes. This is going to be description. Get out of those quotations and add another colon, have a space, and then another set of quotations. And this description is the first thing that you can really edit inside of here. And this is going to be really just the description of your pack. So make sure you add a little bit of flavor text because other people may see this. And so I'm going to say a simple data pack for OMG craft. And there we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit save on this and make sure that over here, this is updated by double clicking it again and making sure that it's all good. Perfect. Now back over here, we're going to go into that data folder that we made before, and we're going to make another folder. Now this is your namespace folder. So this folder, whatever it is named, is what is going to be in front of the name of the function. So you noticed in my world, I had OMG colon ATP, OMG colon lawnmower, OMG colon strength. This is what is going to be in my pack. It's OMG. I just have OMG right here. You may want to do this differently. So we're going to call this test, and then it'll be test colon whatever the heck function we set up. Now we're going to head into test, and this is the area that we would add a folder for each type of data pack entry we would want to create. So that would be advancements, functions, loot tables, all those sorts of things. All we want to do in this episode is make a function. So we're going to create a new folder and call it functions with an S. Functions, hit enter. There we go. So now we can head into here. Now this area is where you are going to actually make your functions. Just like before when we created that .mcpack file, we are going to need to make a new file. We're going to make a text document. And this time you're going to rename whatever this you want, but at the end it needs to be .mc function. So I'm going to create a function that I always run at the start of every world. This will set time to day. It will stop time from moving. It'll stop some spawns that I don't like. And then we're going to move on. So I'm going to just call this start.mc function. Make sure you spell it right because I started to spell it incorrectly. It's going to ask you again if you want to rename it and have it be a crazy file, and you're going to hit yes. Now go ahead and open this up in your text editor. Now in this text editor, every function that you add, it needs to be in a new line. And really a function is just a command that you would run. So normally I would say time, set, day. And if you want to, you can do all of this in Minecraft itself. I've actually opened up an extra world right here to kind of keep track. So normally I do time, set, day. So I'm going to grab this command basically, and then I'm going to copy that whole line and paste it. And we do not need the slash at the beginning of the function. So that's something I do. Next thing I do would be game rule do daylight cycle false. Now I can grab all that, paste it over here, remove the slash. The next thing I would do is slash game rule do weather cycle, set that to false, paste it on over, get rid of the slash. Just in case the weather wasn't already clear, I do slash weather clear. I accidentally ran the command instead of paste it over here, but there we go. And we could also run some really kind of cool commands like slash difficulty. If we set it to peaceful, it'll delete all hostile mobs. So we can run this command first. Then we can change the game rule do mob spawning, and that'll make sure that no extra creatures will spawn. So we'll set that to false. But then we can reset the game rule, the difficulty back to normal, and that will make it so that if I want to create a hostile mob later for an episode, then I could do that, but no other hostile mobs are going to spawn. Make sure you save that file and you should be good to go. I added a few extra commands, so let's see if it works. We're going to open up this function world. Okay, everything looks fine. Then we're going to go to slash function, and I screwed something up. It didn't work the first time. I'll be honest. I spelled functions wrong when I think I literally said, make sure you spell correctly. And I had it spelled incorrectly. Bugs happen, okay, y'all? So now we can actually use this function space, and then you go test start. So we're going to hit enter, and let's see if this all worked. It executed 9 different commands, and it did. Thanks for... Oh, it was supposed to say thanks for watching. You get bugs. You get bugs sometimes. It's supposed to say thanks for watching, but please like and subscribe. But we can also see a few things if a few things worked. It looks like sun's not moving. Those clouds are moving, but the sun's not moving. Let's see what type of difficulty is this. Set to normal, which we did. And let's also make sure what did we want to check? We can check our game rule on do mob spawning, or that's mob loot mob spawning. Let's see, what is it? False. Perfect. So all of our functions executed flawlessly, except for my sign here, but that was because I didn't type it out correctly. But there you go. I hope that you found this video super helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you did find it useful, give this video a big old thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. And I'll see you next time on OMG Craft. Bye!